So, welcome this morning. Welcome. Let's move our body. It's Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Christmas. So, today you'll need your regular block and your ball, a blanket. If you have one handy, go ahead and grab it. And then I wanted to show you these. They're enclosed stretchy bands. Okay, you can find these at Walmart. You can get them online. You don't have to have one, but we're going to do a little bit of standing work today with these. And I have a dear friend, and her dad took a spill. His balance has been challenged. He's in his 70s, and he might be 80, but he took a spill and landed. Couldn't catch himself, landed on his face, and needs to have his nose fixed. But also he has to, because he takes blood thinners, he's got a hematoma growing in his brain. So it's kind of a risky situation. So my thought was, well, let's work on stuff to not fall. Let's increase our balance. And we do some of that, but we haven't all. But today we really will be working on our balance. So you'll want to be close to a wall, close to a chair. We will get up and down a little bit more than what we normally do. I'll try to make it that we get up, do some stuff, and then get down and be done. So that if getting up and down is the difficult part, that you can go ahead. So with that said, let's move. Okay. So find yourself a seat. If you're still gathering some equipment, totally fine to do. I have a thought and that's already gone. Oh, I wanted to share a thought with you. This is from Marianne Williamson. And I think I got it memorized, or at least mostly memorized. And her idea is that if you want to end darkness, you don't beat it with a baseball bat. Okay, you turn it towards the light. So my idea is when we have dark things, and that can be something really hard and a trial in our life, or it can be something so simple as it's really hard for me to get up and down off of my chair. That can be something that can turn us toward, that can create darkness within us, right? Chaos. So one of the things that we can do is we can change. We can start moving. I promise that if you stay in your chair and don't move, then moving will be difficult. Okay. You have to create movement. And that is really the whole reason why we do this class, is so that we get movement. Okay. So go ahead and let's start by just finding a place. Breathing deeply in and out. Letting that breath be long and slow. You know, if you've got a really busy day, which I do today, and all the time you have is to sit for a moment and breathe, focused breathing, right? Then your day is going to be better. This focused breathing puts us in a place of kind of that turning towards the light feel. It's amazing how much when I pause and breathe, I recognize that even in a chaotic day or a chaotic time, that it's okay. Deb, you can still get everything done you need to get done. So inhale and exhale. Let it be slow. Let it be long. I don't know about you, but I remember in times past where I'd be sitting and I'd be in a class and they'd be breathing and I'd be great for 3, 4, 5 breaths and then my brain would start going, when are you going to start, lady? So if that's where your brain goes, just focus back on the breathing. It doesn't matter how long she breathes, right? Beautifully done. And blink open your eyes. Good morning. So as we practice today, this movement may be so simple for you. Be grateful for that, right? If it is. Okay. I feel like I need to just adjust. You're not going to see my feet up here. Sorry, Instagram. You will see my feet. Okay. So we're going to start with our feet. Okay. We'll move through some of the things that you know that we've done before. And then we're going to actually do some standing. Okay, if you're just joining us, I saw a couple just come on. It's a complete circle stretchy band. Okay, they come in all sorts of, you can order them on Amazon. That's probably the best place. And they'll have like a set of 6 different strengths for like $10. You're worth it. Just saying. So we will work with these. Go ahead and if you may not have that, so we'll kind of grab a ball. Okay, so it's just a regular racquetball, and you're just pushing on your feet. Okay. So I was able to work with a couple of people a week or so ago, and they'd never done this, and they had some issues with their feet, and they were able to really kind of go, oh, that feels great. May I suggest that you do it? I do them. I remember I taught a yin yoga class, which is where you sit and just hold stretching poses for long periods of time. And I had been playing pickleball and had rolled my ankle just a little bit. So I am pushing down into the ball. I'm just looking for places that are a little tender. Okay. I find that most of my tender places are on the inside by the arch or on the outside. There's another arch on that outside of the foot. Okay. So you're just looking for them, and notice my hands. They'll even stretch as I'm paying attention to that. When you find a place, go ahead and pause and just kind of stay there and go, oh. And if it's really too sensitive, come off, come back on. Okay. It will get less sensitive. That's one of the beauties of this body, is it's so adaptable and so changeable that it is totally and completely, we have the opportunity and the ability to shift and change. You might think, Debbie, it's been 80 years like this. It's not going to change. Oh, yes, it will. Shout out to my mom. She's a dedicated woman. Okay, I am amazed and I want to be just like her. But as I got to work with her feet a couple weeks ago, when I did my thing with my aunts and my mom, that is posted on YouTube. It's a gold. It's one of those cherished memories that I'll have. But as her feet were so supple, and I know she does this every day. So if you've got some issues, I'm not saying her feet are perfect, okay? But you heard what I used. The word I used is that they are supple. Okay. To me, in my work environment, okay, darkness is where you go, oh, I can't change. No, that's not for me. There's no way you're turning any light. Your mind is shut, right? That is a mind that is in darkness. So maybe, just maybe, you sit down and start moving just a little bit, okay? Go ahead and shift that ball to the other foot. You might say, well, Debbie, we didn't do our shearing. We're going to go back and forth today just a little bit more than what we normally do. Finding tight places. You might find, oh, there's more on that left foot than there was on my right foot, or vice versa, okay? You will be amazed. Can I say that enough? This is one of the very best things you can do. We walk on our feet. If our feet are constantly below us, or even if we prop them up, but they don't get the manipulation that they are supposed to. Remember babies' feet? Their toes could do spreads and all. We want those toes. And you're like, Deb, but I've spent 80 years not doing anything. It's okay. Our body can still adapt. Will it ever get to be like a newborn baby again? Maybe not. At least in this life, right? So finding those places, you're worth this kind of effort, okay? I record these. I put them on YouTube. They are free, okay? And there are probably 20 to 25 of them. There's some on there that I posted that would be very aggressive for you. Some of you could probably do those, okay? So finding just that range of motion. Now, take it back to the first side. This is for your toes. So I'm taking and I'm putting a big toe and a pinky toe on the outside of the ball, and I'm pushing down. Now, watch what I'm going to do. Roll over that ball. My toes are rounding over that ball, and then come back and see if you can come down, right? Go up, go over, and then come back down. Go ahead and go up and go over and come back down. One more. Go up and go over and come back. Okay? If the ball kind of moves away, it's okay. Just go grab it. Let's shift to the other side. Sometimes we think that these up and over, these, and notice one side, one foot feels a whole lot more dexterous than the other. But sometimes we feel like this little bit of movement just isn't going to really make a big difference. And I promise that if this is your first day, you might feel a little bit more energy in your legs. You might feel a little fatigue because you've used muscles you haven't used before. But in all honesty, you probably won't notice a ton of difference. It's the consistency, right? You know that if you're making a change, okay, it's not just one day. Even though that one day we have so much energy and we feel so fantastic, and then we want to make those changes and we work on it, and then the next day we feel okay, and then the next day, I don't feel so good, I want to quit, okay? That's the darkness. The light comes when we're willing to, even in the harder times, say, you know what, no, I'm going to get on my chair, I'm going to move my body, okay? It could be so many things. I'm just going to sit and I'm going to breathe, okay? So now, just hold your feet still. They're off the ball. You can feel a tingle in your toes. I can feel a tingle in my toes. Okay, one last one. You're going to put the heel on the ground, okay? Move the ball away so that your knee's just at a right angle. You don't want the knee compressed like this if you've got knee issues. Now, if you don't have knee issues, you're probably okay doing this tight, okay? But you might as well just move to a right angle, okay? And you're just going to roll, straightening the leg and bending it, okay? Straightening it out and bending it. This is where the balls escape more than any other place. Okay, so straighten it, bring it back, straighten it. When's the last time you massaged the bottom of your feet? They carry us through our day. And what do we do to take care of them? Okay. Then one more thing. Come back to your bend, plant the heel, and roll side to side. Now, you're going to start at the toes, go to the ball of the foot. You may have to pick up your foot a couple times. Start going through the arch. You're just going side to side to side. There's quite a bit of pressure on there. You're going to get to a point when none of your foot's on. That's when the ball escapes the most. You'll notice my hands get a little tight and expand right there. And then move it to the other side, okay? Go out, straightening the leg and back. Go out, straighten the leg and back. Go out and back. Finding that range of motion in your knee. It's actually really good for your knee too. And then plant the heel. Start at the toes. Go side to side. Across the ball of the foot. Across the arch. Okay, I'm not as coordinated on one side of my body as I am the other. Swirling it around. Beautiful. Go ahead and reach down. We're also going to do our hands. We've done this before. Now, when you do this, you're also going to feel your quadricep muscle. Yeah, that's why I do it this way. But you can do this on a countertop. Okay, but you're just going to find, and this one, we really don't just sit and push. Okay, our hands are a little bit more dexterous, but you're going to just kind of move around on your legs. And my place is right here. It's that knuckle, right, where my thumb comes into my wrist. I've got a little bit of we used to call it, before I knew better, it kind of a double jointedness, but evidently there's only a hyperextendedness, not a double jointedness. I learned that when I took anatomy and physiology in college. So that one is just always really kind of tender to me, okay? Now, I keep these balls all over the house. I keep some down here where I teach from downstairs, okay? I keep one in my car, and it's in a sock so that it doesn't escape while I'm driving. I don't do my feet and hands while I'm driving, but I do my back and shoulders, and it's fabulous, okay? Then go ahead and squeeze. This is just really good for our grip, and release and squeeze and release and squeeze and release. So you can tell that this class is designed really to move every part of our body, okay? One of the things that I've noticed that as we age, we lose the ability to grasp the strength of our fingers, okay? Second side, roll around on those legs. Again, you can look at this and think, this is really dumb. This is just, and that's fine. That doesn't offend me one bit. I remember kind of thinking the same way. And then I had a student come to class that had a tumor on his brain. Okay, go ahead and squeeze. And he said, how can I do yoga? And his whole, I can't remember, I believe it was his left side of his body had atrophied to the point where it was significantly different, right? And so his balance was challenged. And I'm like, what can we do? And that's when I created this particular class. And I've been teaching it since 2009. So I've had success stories, okay? I've had people that have thought it was boring and they didn't come back. They wanted something more aggressive, okay? You have that right to that opinion. I will not take that away from you. Go ahead and just let that fall. And then just plant the hands on your thighs. Sit quietly for a moment and notice what you did. I can still feel tingly in my feet. My hands are as well. Take some deep breaths and recognize that you're just moving your body. Okay, second one, and we haven't done this one for a while. This is just a foam block. You can get them I've seen them at Target. They're a little thinner, okay? There's a company called Hugger Mugger. That's where I get these from. They will ship anywhere in the United States. They actually ship international as well, okay? So your foot And I'll show it from the front, and then I'll show it from this side angle. Okay, you don't, again, if you've got knee issues, you're not bending deeper than a 90 degree. You're keeping it there, and you can just move and adjust the block, okay? You're putting the ball of the foot here. See, my toes are off. The heel is coming down. You're going to reach it to the floor. It's a fabulous stretch for the calf, and it's kind of difficult. Now, if you don't have a block and you want to stretch and you got a set of stairs, I bet you've got one coming in and out of your house. Okay, if you're in the winter, it's going to be a little chillier. But most of us have, in Utah, we have basements, or you have some place where you have a step. Okay, can be done. You are stretching here, you're reaching. Okay, now watch what we're going to do. We're going to come up, clear as tight as you can. Now, you may not be able to get up as tight. Okay, my dad said I used to walk around the house like this. I also used to walk around the house with the toes curled under. Both very valuable exercises for keeping dexterous feet. A word. Go ahead and push down, lean forward. Okay, come up, stretch, down and up, down and up. Yeah, go ahead and go up. This time, right? And as you come up, roll through the ankle. It drops and rolls. This is a safer than standing to do this roll, okay? Reverse that roll. And then go ahead and go down, reaching that heel to the floor. I am totally fine if you want to lean forward to create a little bit more weight, stretch through those calf muscles. Okay, I want you to think for a minute, okay? What, as we age, do we want to be able to do? I asked some friends this, and they're like, be able to get into my car, go to the store, get what I need, get back into the car, bring it home, take it from my car into the house, be able to put it away and use it. That was their, like, just that ability to do for yourself. Okay, that was the number one thing. Go ahead and switch legs. Come down and up. Go ahead and go down. Take a lean. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe it's a little bit. Maybe that's just like piece of cake for you. Okay. Down and up. Down and up. And then come up and let's do our ankle circles. So what's most important for you to be able to do? I know I grew up in a household where I still have a dad that plays pickleball, and I'm not very good, and I don't know if I could still beat him. He's to watch him, all of a sudden, the paddle just switches, and I'm like, how do you do that? I'm just in awe, okay, that he has taught me to continue to move this body. Okay, go ahead. Notice that tingle that was maybe in here, your feet, has now moved up to those ankles. We're going to grab the block for one more thing. It's going to squeeze legs. Go ahead and lift it so that it's up high, so it's not down here. Squeeze it in. Plant your hands, and I want you to just push down. You're going to feel your thighs roll down, okay? When the thighs roll down, because there's a bone that hooks from the knee up into the hip actually widens. So if your hips widen, your low back stretches this way. So this, you can totally, if you want to just sit and take some time to stretch through that low back. Okay, so the low back is here. Okay, this is the sacrum. And by the time you're 2, these vertebrae have fused from your tailbone up to about where the top of the hips are, maybe just a tiny bit lower, okay? That's where that sacrum is, and it's steady. However, on either side, okay, here's our sacrum, the V-shaped. On either side, we have a hip socket, okay? It's a socket that, it reminds me when I saw it of a dove, tongue and groove. I think that's right. Dovetail. Those are some of the thoughts that are coming, like a drawer. And you know how you wanted those kind of drawers? That's one of the things I would check for rather than just one piece into one piece, because those would stay. That's what that sacrum is, but it's meant to do this so that we can walk. So it's meant to go forward and back. One of the reasons we have so much pain right in there is that we get a nerve pinched because we've done something that's maybe gone ski-wumpus sideways and pinched a nerve in between there, okay? So this action, a lot of talking, pushing down. If you can't get down and open up your hip on the floor like we do in a regular yoga class, okay, this is a way, I'm squeezing the block. So that block's trying to move down, but I'm not letting it move. And as I push down on that block, I feel the stretch sideways, the safe stretch of that sacral area. Okay, when that sacral area stretches wide, so does the low back. Now, tighten your waistline. Just pull the belly button towards the spine, and you will feel that stretch. It's one of the best things you can do for your hips, for overall, because I know a lot of us have low back pain. Okay, and then go ahead and release. Pause for just a moment. Close your eyes. Sit still. You'll notice that you'll feel just a little vibration. No, we didn't hold it long enough, but there's a little warming, tingly sensation in that sacrum. So let's try it again. Squeeze that block. Come, push, and some of you are like, that feels so good. Let me push more. You don't need to do that. Okay? You don't need to make it harder or make it more intense for it to be better. Okay. So we're going to do this. Inhale, release. Exhale, push, and push down. Lean as far forward as you can. You may say, well, my belly gets in the way. It's okay. Okay, come back up. Push down. Okay, come back up. Push down. The moving in and out actually requires more work for our muscles, okay? We could get into a pose and hold it, or we can make our muscles move in and out of the pose. That's what we want. Beautifully done. Go ahead and hold. Push a little bit more. Let the block come a little lower, and as it comes a little lower, you're going to feel it shift as to where you feel it in your body. I love this body. These bodies are incredible. So as I get a little lower, it shifts from being at the sacral area around to the outside of the hip. So go ahead and keep pushing. You're still squeezing. You're still pushing. You're still squeezing, but the block is losing the battle. And go ahead and release. Okay. It's one of the best things you can do for the outside of your hip. There's some other things we do in a yoga class that might be too difficult for you to do that are fabulous. Okay. So we'll get back up and work some balance in a minute, but I wanted to do one more thing seated. Okay. So our sun salutations. And we really haven't done a ton with our spine yet, okay? So inhale the arms up. Remember, if you can't get them all the way up, here is fine, here is fine, okay? If maybe here is fine, just feel them move, okay? Try not to make the movement be this. That's shoulders, okay? Try to pull those shoulders down and move the arms up, okay? Pull the shoulders down. In fact, let's do that. Lift them up, pull them down. Lift them up, pull them down, and as you pull them down, let the arms lift. Some palms can face each other, that's easier. Pull them down, lift them up. Inhale. Pull them up, pull them down, lift them up. Yeah, that makes sense. Inhale, raise the shoulders. Exhale, depress the shoulders, let the arms raise. Inhale, raise the shoulders. Exhale, pull the shoulders down, let the arms raise. Inhale, yep, pull it down. Okay, now if you can get up higher, great. Same exact exercise. Inhale, exhale, raise up. Notice that you get about here and they want to come back up with you. You'll still try to pull them down. Okay, here we go. Up, down, and raise. Go ahead and hold the raise. You may hold it here. Lengthen forward. Okay, knees don't go wide. We're holding them in. If this helps you keep the legs, put the block back in, take that hinge. Hands on the thighs, you're going to round the spine. Okay, let me turn sideways and show you that. From a, look, it's relatively straight, right, to a round. Oh, that's our first one today. Anybody feel how good that feels? Okay, inhale back up. Okay, take the arms, shoulders up, shoulders depress, arms raise, hinge forward. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, plant your hands, move with that breath. Exhale back. Go as deep as you can. You can tuck your chin. Inhale, you come back up to a seat. Our spines need to feel that movement. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale here again. Hands on the thighs. Exhale, push it back. Inhale up. Here come the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Take another inhale, holding this. And then again, your arms can be not lifted. And exhale. Inhale. Now, if you can't move your arms, if they're too painful, then you're doing it like this. The inhale is here. And then you hold for a breath. Exhale. Inhale again. And then on the exhale, you just round back. Totally can do it this way. Inhale all the way up. Hinge. Exhale. Inhale here. And exhale, pull back. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Take an inhale. Long one, yeah. And then exhale, curl it and round it back. And then come all the way up. Beautifully done. Just roll through those shoulders, okay? You can lose your block too. All right. Let's do a little bit of twisting, okay? Twisting is important. Just take one arm on this leg. This hand is going to clasp the chair behind you. Notice this shoulder rolls forward. You take the shoulder up and around, okay? Open the body. Feel that inhale, lengthen through the body. And exhale, hold the twist, and then release, and just let it come back. Try not to let the release be slingshot, right? Okay, let's try the other side. Hand, shoulder. So just do a big shoulder roll, and when it gets back there, clasp. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, I'm twisting. I'm using my ribs. Okay, I'm using the muscles on the sides of the body. Notice what wants to happen here. It wants to just get lazy and go with it. Make it stay straightforward. Inhale here. And exhale, I love to lift my hands. See if I can hold the twist and then just slowly come back. We're going to do 5 each side. Here you go. Inhale. You are welcome to take the arms up. Okay. Inhale here. Exhale. Get that shoulder up and around. Inhale, twist. We're holding for a breath. Exhale. Inhale deeper and exhale, release. Inhale up. You choose your arms, right? Exhale, shoulder up and around. Hold. Inhale here. Lengthen. Exhale. Take one more. Inhale and exhale, release. Now, we're going to move in and out, not holding for these last 4 on each side. Inhale up. Exhale, start the twist. Legs staying strong. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale is just lengthening and exhale. Inhale. Shoulder. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Up and twist. Inhale and release. 1 more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. And pause. Go ahead and take a couple of what we call these cat-cow poses, right? Inhale and just exhale. You've twisted in your waistline. Now, I want you to grab your block for one more time before we stand up. Okay, put it back in between. Come to the edge of your chair. Push it down. Weight it. Squeeze it. Spread. Really hug that block tight. At the tighter you hug the block, the more stretch you'll feel in the sacrum. We've just worked the sacrum and kind of the low back. Let the block come a little deeper. Really notice that stretch. Squeeze that block. Take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes. Squeezing the block, seeing if you can dent the block. You're squeezing so firmly. Tighten the waistline and release. So that's just a fabulous little hip back stretch, okay? Actually, sorry, I know getting the block's probably tough. Will you bring the block up close? Get your belly. You might have to move it, okay? Your chest might get in the way as well. We're just rounding over that block, okay? If that's really painful, put a pillow there. But what I'd like to see you do is just round the spine, opening through. It should feel pretty good, although you might feel some pressure on your belly and your rib cage. Breathe deeply. Notice that your back expands on the inhale. Third breath. And work your way up. Okay. So we normally will sometimes sit that way, right? That same pose here that we just created is our couch pose. It doesn't do the same benefit when you do it on the couch as if you do it here. Here there's gravity that pulls you down and you're stretching. Here gravity pulls you down, but it's compressing, okay? So it compresses it deep into the low back. So if you're on the couch, okay, you're putting pillows, something, this. I no longer sit very much on the couch. I'm usually on the floor, okay? But find that spine, an upright spine, the one that we do yoga in. Okay. Go ahead and grab your stretchy. It'll be easier to put on the floor or while you're seated, okay? If you just have one of those that is, because I know I didn't tell anybody to get these, if you just have one of the long ones that we do more often, okay, you can totally bring that around and tie it in a knot. It doesn't need to be tight. So if getting up is difficult and you feel like, Debbie, I can't do that up, you can do this seated. I'm going to show you seated first and then I'll show you up. You're totally just stepping to the side. You know where we're going with this now, don't you? Okay, I've been looking. Our thighs muscles, quadricep and hamstrings, and our abductors and adductors are, if we are sedentary, it's the hardest thing for us to move, okay? So, totally can do it here, but we're gonna work a little bit on our balance with this too, okay? And balance isn't gonna happen seated. I'm sorry. So it's above your knees if you can. It will roll. It's the biggest detriment to these, but they just do, and it's okay. I know I've heard that there's a different fabric, and I haven't tried them out yet, okay? So you can stay a little bit bent, but I don't want this. So get your body up. It's your stick in your bum, that way, okay? I've got a funny story about that, but I'm gonna come towards you, so you're just stepping and together, stepping together. Let's do 3, one direction, unless you're out of space, right? Then step together, step together, okay? It will look like this. Let's go that way. Step together, step together. 3 takes me off the camera almost. Go back together, back together, back together, okay? Let's go this way this time. Yeah, you're gonna feel that lead leg gets a little. Third one, okay? We're going that way. Back. Notice I'm not taking grandiose steps. If that is something that you can do, you are welcome to go down into a squat, but there's no need. We're working thighs, okay? Here we go. 3 that way. I'm not taking big steps. I'm not covering much space. You should start feeling it all the way through your legs. That way again. Okay? You might think, how is this balanced, Debbie? Okay? Notice that I am not just dragging my foot, right? It is a pick up and pick up, pick up and pick up while I'm on one leg. Okay, now, yeah, we'll come back and take a little break. Go ahead and shake your legs out. I'd like you to move the strap down below your knees. Okay. Stand a little wider. Okay, you are welcome to grab on to the back of your chair. Just a hand on the wall. Okay, wherever you want to be. Totally fine to do that. Hang on just a sec. I'm going to lift up. You don't need to see my feet now. You need to see my head. Okay. So here, with your hand on the chair or your hand on the wall, notice here, if this feels low and you feel like you have to go like this to reach the chair, then you're coming here. Don't just sit and reach the chair. Okay, but I want you to see what my feet are doing. So I'll hold on to the chair to start. Go ahead and you're just going to lift. Now, there is the band's there. Okay, so lifting, see if you can release and back down and there. We're going to do the same leg 3 times. Here we go. So you've got to shift the hips, but don't do it a ton. More just shift weight and feel this standing leg push down, okay, and then just lift. So it's not, get it up, yeah. That's not a bad movement, but we're trying to find and build strength in the feet. So push down, lift up, hands down. Maybe one goes up and you just touch it off the chair or the wall, okay? One more, that was only 2. Push down, lift up, hands off, wherever you want. You can move them. If you can stay longer and come down, wiggle through, okay? Second side. Push down the standing leg. I try to spread through my toes. I try to push the whole foot like I'm pushing into sand. You know that feel when you get down into the sand? Okay, that one. And then lift, find the balance, and back down. Push down in, lift, find the balance, and back down. Push, lift, find the balance, and back down. Beautifully done. So let's do 5 each side. You have another option. You know me. Okay, that push down doesn't change. This can go here. It's tree pose. I've still got the band on. You will feel it flip and wiggle. Just, it's okay, okay? Here, push. My foot that's on my leg, it can be on the ankle, not an ankle. You can put your toes on the floor. You can have it up on your calf if you want it all the way up. Okay, we're not going any higher than that. We're not going on the knee, ever. Okay, push down, maybe hands here and back. Maybe it's like one up, one, oh no, oh no. Yeah, find that. And you're more than welcome to do that against the wall. A wall is the very best friend for balance, okay? So plant, push down with this foot. This other one picks up and comes in. Find your balance. Hold on. Find your balance. Hold on. Find your balance. Hold on. Find your balance. Breathe and release. 4 of those, okay? Trying for the other side. Push down through the foot, spread through the toes, okay? I'm picking up this foot, I'm putting it in. You can have the toes down, but we're not going in and out of this pose. We're holding this pose. We're coming in and out of balance, okay? Inhale and back down. Inhale. Whoa, you might wobble. Totally fine. Inhale and down. Inhale. Go ahead and hold it for the last one. Notice your ankle and release. That's one of the very best things you can do for your ankles, to make yourself balance and make this foot adapt, okay? That's one of the things that we lose. That's why we spend so much time on our feet, okay? Beautifully done. We're going to do just a little bit of stretching because we did work our legs today, okay? Now, this stretch isn't for everyone. I will show you some modifications, okay? Ideally, and you might be able to do this, you're going to pick and get your foot across your thigh, okay? Yeah, you might immediately feel where that stretch is going to happen. Okay, if your knee bothers, okay, then, and that's too much of a bend for it, okay, I'll show you a separate. But I want to show this one first. This foot is flexed. This knee, my foot's not back here, okay? It's right straight. When we do this on the floor, you know, it's the same thing. We want the knee at a right angle, 90 degrees. Okay, you're going to inhale. You can hold onto an ankle and onto not the knee, but the top of the shin. You can lengthen up. Oh, that changes the stretch. And then you can gently pull forward. That is a fabulous, fabulous hip stretch, okay? You can also do some twisting here, moving with your breath, okay? Now, if that with the knee and the hip is just way too intense, there's two things. They're just different block, okay? Put it straight forward and bring your, now if that is way too, I know some of you that is too much, just see if you can step it up one. Okay, you're coming clear to the edge of the chair. You're keeping that right angle on both knees. You're leaning forward. Now, you're going to say, Debbie, it's not the same on my hip. I understand. Try to lift and come to the outside edge of the foot. The knee now goes wide. Okay, there's that stretch. So it's much modified. You might have the flexibility in your hip to get way up high, and you're welcome to do that there. Okay, it's a little bit different than this. This is going to have more sensation, but it might be a little safer. Okay, try the second side. Bring it up, cross it over, flex the foot, hands, ankle, front of the shin, not the knee. We don't ever hold on to the knee. Okay, that knee has, it's a bone meeting a bone with ligaments in between. There's really no muscle right in through here. Okay, it's a hinge. These muscles need to work. When I flex this foot, I engage the calf muscle as well as the shin. Well, I don't really engage the calf muscle, but the shin muscle I do. So you inhale, lengthen, exhale, there's a hinge, okay? If you're a runner, I guarantee you this is going to be tight. If you want to make, if you're like, I don't really feel much here, Deb, okay, then this block, yeah, you just bring that stretch up to you. If you're like, okay, well, let me see. Maybe you come here. Yeah, I promise. There's ways we can always find how to stretch. I can find those moments of like, oh, when we feel that intensity, it's just fabulous, okay? So, inhale and exhale and inhale. Now, you are welcome. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my back to do our same. So here, so you kind of get in a double dose. You lean. Notice I'm trying to keep the back as straight as natural, right? And then you round it back. Ooh, you're going to feel a little pull right here. And then come all the way up and hinge and round and up. You don't have to hinge much. Your movement might be really small. Okay? But that moving in and out, that's one of the things that's so beneficial to our muscles. If, again, maybe one leg you could get here and the other leg because of an injury, you're here. Totally fine. So if you've done this, turn. Okay, remember, I'm not just sickling my ankle down. I'm turning to the outside edge, but I'm still pushing into that foot. Open and hinge. Beautifully done. Take some deep breaths. You've worked well today. Homework. I haven't given you any, but I'm going to give you some every December. Okay. Balance every day. So find some way of on one foot. I don't care if you have to hold on the entire time with one foot. Okay. You're finding that one foot, you are holding, you're letting that ankle do that calibration and the bottom of your foot. Feel that rolling side to side, that difficulty. The more you push down with the whole foot, we tend to push with the outside edge, try to push with the whole foot, right? Like you're going to make the biggest footprint you can, not just the partial footprint. You want to get the whole footprint, and you're pushing down. When you do that, you can totally, in fact, let's do that just seated really quick, okay? Push down into the foot and try to push it forward. Don't let it go, but try to push it forward. You'll feel the whole leg up into the hips engaged. Try the second side. Push down the whole foot. Try to push it forward. You'll feel the whole entire leg tighten. That's what's going to happen with your balance. When you stand, right, and you put one foot down and you lift the other and you make yourself, you get wobbly, right, and you feel that wobble, okay, and maybe you fall out and come back in. Those are some of the things that will benefit. That's why we worked on balance today. Hopefully, one of the things I notice with older people when they walk, instead of this walk, right, it is okay, and that walk comes from not developing these muscles, right? So if you don't have one of these, grab one. If you want to reach out to me, most of you have my email address or my phone number. We'll create. If you're like, I just really want to do some of these. Okay, we'll work more on that. Let me know what you'd like to work on, where you're tight. Notice we didn't do a ton of shoulders today, okay? You can't do it all. So, come back. We've got about 5 minutes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. We're going to come back to that breath, but with that breath, will you kind of wander through your body with your mind? Take a gander. I know that's an old word, isn't it? Goosey gander. I know that came out of who knows where. Way a lot of information up there that, yeah. Inhale, closing your eyes, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. How do my feet feel? How do my ankles feel? How does my belly feel? How do my thighs feel? My hips? My waistline? My shoulders? My neck? Didn't do much neck rolling. For me, this darkness comes when I can't feel what my body is saying to me. Yoga has absolutely nothing to do with poses. It has everything to do. It means to yoke. It means creating a union. It means listening to what your body is saying and adapting what you're doing to what your body needs. Some of you are like, I have no idea what my body needs. It's time. to learn, right? It's time to listen. It's time to honor. Now, with that said, I've got to talk for just a moment about addictions, cravings, habits. Yuck, Dale, I don't want to talk about that. That is a darkness, isn't it? Those things that we've let ourselves do, maybe we've done them to heal. And it's better than what we were doing beforehand, okay? Notice when you really want a treat. I like to make sure that when I eat that treat, I taste it. You ever had that where you've eaten something and you're like, I don't even know what that tasted like? So a lot of that comes from this pause, okay, this union, this yoking together of the mind, the body, and the spirit. When we start listening, I firmly believe and know that my spirit knows exactly what my body and my mind, what my mind should be thinking, and what my body should be doing. But sometimes I find I've looped a negative thought for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and it's like, oh, that took me into a really dark place. I can change that. But before I can change it, I have to know that I'm doing it. That's what yoga does. It puts us in touch with knowing and doing. Okay. Take some deep breaths. Go ahead and do some audible H-A-ha breaths. It sounds like this. Inhale. Another one. One more. That is one of the best ways to release tension in the body, to release thoughts from the mind, and to kind of clue in. Okay. So we're going to move into Shavasana. I'm going to be down on the floor. I didn't show you this, but I did have you have a blanket handy. So with that blanket handy, would you just roll? Okay. It's going to go underneath our knees in our Shavasana. So it's just a roll. Okay. Cotton blankets. I love these cotton Mexican blankets. Those are my favorite. Okay. Although, can I just tell you the new FASFA ones? F-A-S. Frank, Albert, Sally, FAS. Oh, now I don't know. Is it FASCO? FASFO? FASFA. F, Frank, Albert, Sally, Frank, Albert, FASFA blankets. They have a weave in the middle that's really loose. Stay away from those. Okay. Just my personal preference. That'll go on the floor. Okay. Go ahead and work your way to the floor. If you can't get up and down on the floor, okay, do your twists here. Just walk your legs around to the side. Just kind of hold this twist. Wiggle through your body. You can come back around to the other side. We're going to do these on the floor. Okay. I'm going to come back and move this one more time. There we go. So, coming down to the floor, arms out to the side, knees can stay bent. Now, if knees need to stay bent, you're welcome to just do a twist and a twist, right? Totally fine to do, okay? Do a couple of those, and then you're going to grab your blanket. It's going to go underneath your knees. Arms out to the side. Try to let everything relax. If you can't, if this isn't high enough, you can get a bigger blanket, or You can always, I'm going to move it out of the way, take your feet wider and just kind of knock your knees together. If they don't reach, there you go. There you have it. So you can squeeze that together, and that will just help release and relax your low back. Take some deep breaths. Breathing deeply. We'll stay here for a few minutes. In a gentle class, we normally stay there longer. I'm going to lose Instagram in just a moment, so I came up. So, have a wonderful day. Namaste. Remember that if you want